All right. What's up, everybody? How you doing? I'm actually on camera. I had to check and make sure. I think this is a little turn. There we go. What's up, folks? Welcome in. Welcome to another day. Another day in the grind. Another time on the time. Our slow march forward in the supposed journey to 4.0. I realize I'm going live during Star Citizen Live. For any of you who are trying to step in either bucket at the same time. That's not the word for it. To double fist it. There we go. Trying to double fist the live streams. If you're on Twitch, you probably see they are live. I think they're doing talks about jump points today. Funny because somebody in my comments yesterday told me that there was nothing new on jump points, and I was like, what? Brother. I'm talking about doing... In fact, let's double check. Let's see, let me see what that poll is looking like. I put out a poll yesterday asking people what they want to see in terms of new video. Dang it. Just lost my spot here. I wanted to have this up for in case it came up today. I asked people what they want to see in terms of videos coming up here soon for Star Citizen. And the community is saying... I didn't put one on for just showing the results. Dumb me. Let's say next. The community wants base building. Why did I put that on the list? There's far too much room to speculate with base building and not enough hard information. But I guess that's the same with Nyx. Honestly, that's the same with all these. So this was... the vote is for something that's more contextual or more speculative than anything. But the people are voting for base building. Too bad. I think I'm going to do Nyx first. This is going to be a hard video to do. It's going to take a little while, which means it's going to take a lot of editing and time. And yeah, those videos aren't really doing too well right now. So I'll probably wait on that. But make sure to vote if you haven't. Because we're... I don't know. I think I'm going to actually start to focus more and more on short, quick videos. Kind of like the one I did for Armistice Zones yesterday. I've got one coming out for 324 tomorrow. And I'm taking another shot at a feature watch for Fire, though I feel like that's a really bad idea. We'll see how that goes, probably towards the beginning of next week. Having your own base would be awesome. That's what you spend the most time on in No Man's Sky. Base building's going to be sick in this game. It's a cool idea for a game that doesn't have much drive right now. Just wonder how long it'll take for it to get to a really good place. But I think I'll enjoy doing the research for that. Again, that's going to be probably a longer term one because it's going to take a long time to do. And even the short videos are just expensive to make. Good lordy. YouTube be like that though. How y'all doing this week? Tell me. Any highlights? Anything good going into the weekend? Anybody actually get to play 324? When are we not speculating? Well, at least today, we will be looking at an actual report from the company on what's going on, so there's something. It's a short one, though. I was hoping that we would see a little bit more about the stuff that they were working on that's kind of post 4.0, but they're keeping pretty mum. This is mostly 4.0 stuff, so we're looking at a 4.0 monthly report, really, today. We're going to talk a little bit about website changes coming up to the website, which is just really weird. A little bit of Fire information from the devs and the roadmap roundup from this week. So in the meantime, we'll also be doing questions. You can ask questions if you like. I won't be answering all of them since I am going to be focusing on the monthly report, but it's going to be a couple of hours of just kicking back and chatting about Star Citizen. That being said, you guys know Satisfactory is coming out in less than a month. I think I'm going to do a video on Satisfactory. I enjoyed doing something on Star Wars, and I liked the No Man's Sky project. I think I want to do a video on Satisfactory. Haven't gotten to play that game much on stream in a good long while, but it is one of my favorites. Very cool game. They've been working at it for a while now. I think 6 years in development it spent. And it is, oh gosh, I'm looking forward to it. We got a channel on the Discord. I know a lot of people have been... playing it and excited for it to launch. I think we'll do like a persistent server for our garden so that everybody can get up and build together. But yeah, I'm excited for this game to finally launch. That's gonna be cool. You don't play 324, it plays you. Dude, it wrecks you. It ties you down to the bed and beats you to a pulp. Until you say, never mind, take me back to 323, please. I don't want this. Please. Either that or you're complaining about the box moving. I don't know. You just went to Taco Bell, Vastin? What'd you get from Taco Bell? If it's not a cheesy gordita crunch, I will disown you. And if it's not a Crunch Wrap Supreme, Mrs. Tomato will disown you. So take your pick. What's it going to be? PK. What's up, Toes Gang? Maverick. Welcome. Zoster. Good to see ya. Brigadier. Chala 07's buddy. Distroy. I appreciate you coming in with the love early on. Hope you enjoy the stream. Marcus. 07's Belshazzar. Welcome. Good to see ya. When is the character supposed to get its modularity? Scott, dude, you're asking me the hard questions. I don't even think CIG knows the answer to that one. But 07th, buddy. Robin, good to see you. 07. Having your own base would be awesome. Ian, you are awesome. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the chat. Steven, good morning to you. Barely got to play. Every time you crashed out, you wouldn't be able to get back into for hours. Man, 324 is so rude. Artax, 07th, buddy. Traveling all week, Urgent Hush says. Hope you get home today. Hope you get home today. Flights have been all canceled, so you had to rebook them. Whoa. Dude, that sucks. Why are the flights all uncanceled? Or uncanceled? You made the comment on RMT. You'll probably do your own video on its history, impacts on other games, and how even Star Citizen is perfect, it'll completely... Even if Star Citizen is perfect, it'll completely ruin the game. Exploits? I forgot what RMT was already. But yeah, when it comes to games that include PvP, especially high risk and high reward PvP, cheats begin to become a bigger problem. I was talking to my friend Goat. He's a Tarkov YouTuber. And we talked about that briefly. I'm going to try to get him on the podcast sometime soon and probably jump in game with him once 4.0 comes out. But he had some concerns about cheats and stuff. Obviously coming from Tarkov. Echo. What's up, dude? Unloading ale. Unloading ale. I am unloading ale. Getting drunk, unloading ale. How you doing, Whale? Good to see you, dude. Mrs. Tomato in chat. You've been getting the annoying hangar door desync where it just blows you up when the hangar doors look open? Aye. Dude, the hangar doors are mean. 324s mean. Cargo boxes are mean. What's not mean about this patch? You're salty about the unannounced ships being added when so many ships need a pass or to come out at all. Oh, my friend. Are you new here? I'm asking that seriously, by the way. You like how I just moved my chair in the way of the fan so it stops blowing into your ears? I imagine that's annoying. Believe it or not, a hailstorm wrecked the terminals and some of the planes. Holy crap, what kind of hail is that? Is it raining additional airplanes? Luna Maria, good to see you. Welcome. Busy day today, but popped in to say hello because we are driving. Where y'all headed? On a little road trip? Ah, right. Real money trading. That's it. That's right. Dude, the amount of people who put out ads for other people to buy a UEC. Oh my god. Yeah, I imagine real money trading could be a huge problem, especially for a game like Star Citizen. They better have some good security on the back end of this game. Would love to play Satisfactory with you. We'll hop into the garden. We've got a channel for it. Whoop. You can actually... I don't think it's very active. It's all the way down here at the bottom. You can select it when you sign up for the server and it'll give you access. Yeah, nobody's really talked on here. Let's see. Hello? See if anybody answers me. Nobody's been talking on here for a while, but I bet with the 1.0 update coming out, and maybe if I do a video or two on it and stream it a couple times, I think it'll get active in here again. Love the garden. But they don't know what's good for them. Satisfactory is the goat. Don't tell me otherwise. So for clarification, we thought that hauling missions were going to accept cargo all over as long as it was the same commodity. This was a confusion. They're doing this for resource missions. Yeah. Why are they different types of missions? I was thinking that cargo hauling missions were going to only take the cargo boxes they assign to the mission for now, and then allow for different types of whatever the commodity is to be added in later. I don't want them to make entirely different resource missions. That seems a little weird. I mean, I guess if you order goods from a refinery, I mean, it's not like you're ordering specific boxes of those goods from the refinery, right? But you are ordering from that refinery specifically. So I feel like as long as it's the same commodity from the same location, it should be good. But then for game's sake, like that's if you're chasing the realistic take. But if you just want it to be fun for the game, I feel like they should just accept anything. Anything in terms of the commodity that you have. We know it's all the same stuff. But for it to be resource missions, I feel like that makes an excuse for there to be cargo hauling missions without the need for there to be. So, I'm not a huge fan of that. You've played the Satisfactory demo, seems legit, feels good to your autism brain. Well, it is, yeah, it's fun. I haven't streamed this game in years, but I think we will hop back in at some point in the next month. Definitely when it comes out. I'm hoping to have a video out for it when it comes out as well. Because it's a freaking cool game. Awesome game. Morning. You know, Cargo is scuffed when Jack Axton had to give up the current PTU build. Did he give it up for the gameplay or just because of stability? In the 4.0, not new here. You do feel a tide is rising against the CIG shenanigans. Tide's always rising against CIG. It's just, the banks are really high. The tide's been rising for like 6 years. But yeah, they've been doing unannounced ships. I mean, they got to make their money. That's the problem that they've built for themselves. Their project is too expensive to make. And they can't just not sell ships because they got to pay for the development. But they've put themselves in a position where they have to develop a freaking huge game alongside another game. So yeah. I think they should keep selling ships, but I f***ing hate it. Because I also want other ships to be worked on more. And at least they are taking some time now. They released less ships this year because they're working on getting more of the old ships updated to engineering. So at least that's a thing, but that's kind of necessary for the future. Mr. Lister, you can wait for base building. Then we can talk, but you want to hear the lure of the third system. The third system should be a good reminder to players that CIG is not just creating a PvP game or a combat-focused game. It's not like every system's going to be like Pyro after this. Yet to dip your toe in Satisfactory? Join us and bring your toes. There is going to be base building, Redbed. And hello. Elevators aren't even working, so couldn't test the cargo mechanics until that's consistent. That sucks. I found that to be pretty fun, but I am disappointed about how the cargo works. Like how you get it, not how it works, how they only accept the specific boxes. They can shift to cosmetics. There's a lot of stuff they would be able to sell in this game besides ships to help with the supporting the development. They just got to make all those assets. All right. Yeah, I think Nyx will have a somewhat of an industrial background. Nyx is kind of like a civilian system that's not in the UE. So it's not as dangerous as Pyro, but it's also not as well patrolled or regulated as Stanton. The main faction there are the... I don't even know what they call themselves, but they're like a group of people who don't like the UEE but are trying to create their own civilization. And there will be a lot of like independent missions and tasks and things to do in Nyx. There's a lot of open land because it's mostly unsettled. So a lot of exploration potential probably also. It's got a landing zone too, which we've already played on. That's a big reason why people believe that it could actually come sometime relatively soon. because not only have the Planet Tech team been done with it, but they also had a landing zone that's already been in the game. You really want the crafting mechanics this year that was promised at last year's CitCon? I don't think they promised the crafting stuff at CitizenCon last year. I think, if anything, that they talked about at last year's CitizenCon, that was like the one thing that they specified was not really coming soon, because they only just started working on it this year. I do want some crafting, though. You've given up on 324 too? Feel like they've killed the FPS looting, especially taking stuff from loot chests? I didn't have a problem with looting. I feel like from our stream on, was that Wednesday? Yeah, our stream on Wednesday, it felt like it was basically the same as before. We just couldn't drag the undersuits off of players. Other than polish, what would stop them dropping Nyx in with Pyro or shortly after? The factions. The faction-specific missions and reputation. Brigadier, I'll see you in a bit, my dude. Have a good drive to work. Okay, roadmap roundup for this week. Every 2 weeks, we get a little bit of an update on what's going on with Star Citizen in terms of the roadmap, which, you know, the roadmap is... You place your own importance on that. Everybody kind of disagrees. Here is the message, though. It's coming from Xylo this week instead of Jake. Every 2 weeks, we provide a brief explanatory note alongside the roadmap update to offer insight into the decisions behind any changes. This week, there are no new updates or changes to report, but we recognize many of you are eager to hear how things are progressing as we approach major upcoming milestones. For context, the first time that CIG ever released the progress tracker, this was a while ago. In fact, let's see how far back it goes. Dang it, I hate it when it does that. It goes all the way back to 2020. So, the first time they ever released this progress tracker, everything that you're seeing here was there. All of this stuff, maybe they added some stuff throughout the years, like little bits of things, but almost all of the items that you'll come across in this list, let's just go to deliverables and I'll show you how long it is. Like, you just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. There's so much stuff that they've been working on. Holy crap. So every single one of these things, just about, there's a good show of how long it takes to scroll, was included on that first progress tracker update. And obviously it was a lot of stuff, a lot of planning, figuring out what teams are working on what, where it is that they're working on those things. All of this was like, and a lot of it was not completely accurate. Like, the caveat about this is the time that you see the teams working on this doesn't necessarily mean that's the only time they're working on it. It doesn't specify how many people from their team are working on it. Doesn't even specify if that's the final work that needs to be done on it. The only thing that it tells you is they may be working on that feature at that time. And so this is basically just a list of things they want to do. If you ignore the whole right side of this, which is basically a Gantt chart, you're basically just looking at a list of the things that they have planned, that they want to get done. So, like, here's the cargo system refactor. What we're kind of dealing with right now, being implemented in a big way, it got implemented in 2018. Now, we could disagree on what the cargo refactor is, but the fact of the matter is, this doesn't necessarily explain just how much work is being done in the cargo refactor, because it's still technically ongoing with the freight elevators and like the change of commodities to actual cargo and all that stuff. You also have one for the cave archetypes, where they're talking about working on different types of caves. Now, we know straight up from the picture in the very beginning of the monthly report that they're still working on different types of caves. So when you look at this, there's not even a feature listed. It doesn't tell you the whole story about what's being worked on. I wouldn't take this that seriously. But when they did update it, they did a lot of work of figuring out what's being worked on when and who wants to work on what and all that jazz, and they put it in here. Takes a long time to do that. this is CIG, so it's going to take, 50% longer than you'd expect. Which means that when they told us they were going to update this based on what they want to do for the full release of the game, for the commercial ready release of the game, we should have expected it was going to take a while. And that's what they're basically saying here. Alpha 324 and its related content will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact on various systemic gameplay features, which means it has a lengthier time in Evocati and PTU. The team is fully focused on closing the patch out while also wrapping up our release intentions for the rest of the year. We've made solid progress in mapping this out, and you can look forward to an update including new additions to the progress tracker. So that means that they're including things that they haven't worked on yet. They haven't really added anything to the progress tracker since 24 started. If you scroll all the way down, there's not a single bar going past 2023. That's because when they made that initial update I talked about, that's where it ended. So this year was meant to be at some point a restart to the progress tracker. Not to say that they've finished everything that's on this progress tracker. We could just scroll down and probably find, here we go, control surfaces. That's not in the game. We could keep going, and there's probably some other stuff in here. Artificial gravity. Yeah, allowing players to take part in engineering gameplay through gravity. That's not in the game. Asteroid facilities. That's literally just been shown to us in ISC getting added in 4.0. So you scroll through here and you'll find all kinds of stuff that's not actually in the game. Bounty Hunter V2. It's time for them to take those things that weren't done in this part, building interiors down here too, and take all the stuff that they want to add for the initial release of the game and put them into the progress tracker and give us an actual update that's more of a long-term look at their ideas. Again, when they did this the first time, all of this stuff didn't match up. So like, don't take this as gospel, but it's the best representation of what they want to do long-term that we get. Not because of the schedule, literally just because of the names of things. So when they post this, and I don't think this next update they're talking about is the one for the initial release. This just says including new additions. This might just be the new stuff they're doing for the rest of the year. But when they do finally get around to that one, we're going to spend a lot of time looking at what they include on that list for the initial release of Star Citizen, because that's a big deal. This, I don't know what this is. This is just the stuff that they're planning on doing for the rest of the year. So maybe that's a 4.0 and 4.1. Maybe that's just a 4.0 with the rest of the features they want to have in 4.0 branch. I don't know, but roadmap update had people pretty disappointed this week because we don't get to see what's coming up. And honestly, I'd rather a roadmap roundup delay than an actual feature delay. So whatever. The next communication we'll get on that is in 2 weeks, which is a while. But what are we going to do till then? Bang our heads around 324? Their brains are constantly churning away at tens of ideas with all the minutia. Yeah. Ah, Luna, you got wedding rehearsal today. A lot of relatives here visiting from Asia. Woo! Congratulations again. Oh, what an exciting time. That's right. You got a crazy 2 weeks ahead of you. Hope you enjoy it. Best wishes from me and Mrs. Tomato. We've got elevators and they can deliver things. Ah, well, they try to deliver things. Sometimes they mess up a little bit. Caveman, good to see you. Things are going well. Player bounties definitely need a rework. Yeah, and player and NPC bounties. Glutrino, welcome in. This is like the third time they've neglected progress tracker. What do you mean by neglected? Like, didn't update this year? Yeah, Star Citizen is live on Twitch. That usually means that there might be a little less chat on the Twitch side of things today. But maybe when we get to the monthly report, people will join in. So far, things are coming along, getting clients talking to a redis server, and then oh, you're working on some tech. It's just a Q&A on jump points. Could be something interesting in there. Will fire behave differently if I turn off ship's gravity, since fire in 0G behaves very differently from fire within a gravity well? They said for the initial release, we won't. Just say no. Don't even say for the initial release. For the initial release, we won't have fire in 0G environments. The fire in 0G environments, are they really going to have it behave differently? Propagation tech is gravity aware. We have an approximation which will influence the strength of convection based on gravity. This does account for 0G. Okay, never mind. Jesus Christ, man. I guess that's what you get when you build the engine yourself. However, currently we don't have visuals to show the difference between 0G. As you posted, fire looks very different in 0G. That's pretty wild. So I'm guessing that means that they're probably differentiating between conduction, convection, and radiation too, which would affect fire in space as well. That'll be interesting. Working on your mech MMO game. Nice. The idea of progress tracking, this is V3, I think. No, the progress tracker has been the same since they first made it. You thinking of the roadmap? They changed up the roadmap. The roadmap used to be 4 quarters long. And would have... It didn't even have the tentative committed stuff on there. It was just all the features. But the progress tracker, they only added the one time. See, it's still V1.0. Maybe they can take the wave tech and apply it to space fire. Space fire waves. Can't wait for fire in game. People will set other ships on fire. It's going to be lit. What's the initial reaction to fire? I haven't really looked around the community, but it does seem like one of those features people would kind of gnash their teeth at. Because it's like not super important and it's very VFX heavy. But I'm interested in what people think. Fire spread through to conduction, transfer between rooms would be crazy. I mean, it'll definitely spread due to convection. They already said that in the ISC. If an area gets hot enough, it'll just catch. And if you're just blowing hot air from one room to the next, then that's on you. Seer. Hello. I'm doing well. How are you? Probably what you were thinking. That's why you're posting it as a question. Yeah, they've got the two things, the progress tracker and the roadmap. They've done the roadmap a few different times. House fire not important. Dude, I'm just trying to predict what the comments would be on something like that. What's one thing that was already added that you are grateful for? For you, it's medical gameplay. Man, the ability to buy and rent ships. That's got to be the biggest one for me. Shruiken. Yay, thank you for the super chat on YouTube. You're pretty sick. Thank you. Actually, very cool person. We just watched, I don't know why your name reminded me of this, but we just watched a new scary movie last night. It's called A Night with the Devil. Anybody seen that one? Pretty interesting concept. Very interesting take from your traditional nowadays scary movie. It's a paranormal style one. But it catches you off guard, which I like. Might not be the most scary movie, but I love a scary movie with a good story. Nice to see Star Citizen info drop. Yeah, dude, we got some good stuff today. I'm always looking forward to a monthly report. It's not important to you, and yes, very hard on our systems to run, and legit not something that should be able to burn ships and items designed for flame and heat. Well, the only parts designed for flame and heat would be the reactors, right? It's less about the realism of it. Like, I don't think Star Citizen is in any way trying to replicate real life. When they do talk about sim elements, I think those sim elements are less based on real life and more just based on the fact that it all runs on a group of rules. Fire is meant to be a gameplay addition through and through. This is part of the engineer's game loop. This is part of the danger of bigger ships, and it's part of the wear and tear system that overall is just meant to make you pay more attention to your ships and how you use them. This isn't meant to make it seem realistic. Although, obviously it leans more towards realism with the way it works. Oh, I've seen Annihilation. That's a good one. Wazee, how you doing? Me speculate on spaceships? Don't come to me for that. I'm serious. I'm not a good ship speculator, man. I really don't follow ships as closely as a lot of other people in this game. That's why I generally don't make many videos about them. Spaceships can burn. You're not sure what homie is talking about? I mean, not from his dimension, clearly. Haven't you heard of the metaverse, Lucid? You believe in my speculating abilities. See, now that just sounds like pure pressure. Another curious side effect. Hey, we know Daniel Danielson. Of zero-G is that there's no convection. So unless something... Okay, he's getting into it. So unless something is actively moving air around in a room, in zero-G, the flame would starve itself as soon as it burned through all the nearby oxygen, even in an otherwise oxygen-rich environment. My man. That's what I went to... That's what I worked... Before I ever started doing YouTube stuff, that's what I did for work. In zero-G propagation, will not have any convection solid. For our fire propagation, there will still be radiation. Dude. Oh, y'all are crazy. We don't really simulate oxygen to such a level that we'd have the smothering effect you mentioned. Yeah, because that wouldn't even be, like... For reference, the fire system is probably coming with what they call the room system. And let me give you an idea of... Oh, that's the new feature watch stuff. Let me give you an idea of how long it's been since they started working on the room system. It's so old. It's in my original... I think it's in my original clips folder for Star Citizen. Let's see. Here's some airlock testing they did. This is 2020. Working on the room system and understanding when a room is open or closed. But they've got another one in here that's even earlier. I think I've got a clip from like 2018 in here. You know what? If I just search room, it'll probably come up. There we go. Thank you for the follow. Hey, Artax, thanks for the sub, mate. On Prime, too. Anybody who didn't know, if you have Amazon Prime, you do get a free sub every month that you can use to steal the money from my man Bezos and give it to some lovely streamer. Okay, here's the room system. You could see it working there. When you look at the labels they have here, you'll see they have room 2 right here, and then when this pans up, there we go, room 3 right here. So you got a room here, a room here. This one contains entities of whatever. This one contains nothing, right? There's nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and carbon dioxide in this room, and there's nothing in the other room. They open it up. Whoops. They open it up. And now they both don't have anything. I'm assuming that means that that was a vacuum. So that's 2017 is when they were working on this, which is kind of crazy. Gleptiro, thank you. Or is it Gleptrio? No, it's Gleptiro. I'm not an idiot. I can read. Thank you for the Prime sub, mate. So yeah, you can see how the room system works here as well. Again, it was a very much it doesn't make sense if there was a vacuum here that it would fill in that slowly. Maybe it would. Who knows? But you can see it like it transitions and then the door opens, which isn't how things work. So they got it working, I guess, in their own closed environment. They probably put it away for a while until they realized they need it for life support. But now life support's coming on, which controls oxygen in your room. It controls all kinds of ridiculous stuff. In fact, we can go right back to my new folder, look for life support. And this actually shows, here it is in 2022, showing how atmosphere can move in between two rooms. So you got no CO2 in here, no oxygen in here. This one's, I don't even know what hold on, let's play it and see what's actually going on here. I see. So you open the door in this room and it drains not just this room, but also this one. Because they're connected by a vent. So they've got the systems working. And it's clearly been plugged into engineering. One of the fun things about this is like, because of the life support system, it only can handle a certain amount of oxygen production. So if you put too many people in a ship that's not meant for that many people, you start to die. Not quickly, but like you run out of oxygen very, very slowly. You can see it was going down there. So all that kind of stuff is working, and that's why fire is now starting to show up in development. Plan for 4.0, they say. Oh, by the way, we have a giveaway going on, folks. So you can also get into that. Somebody just spawned that link in Twitch chat. Just click the link and it'll take you to the page. Thanks to Tiny Home Gaming, we are giving away a cutter with a copy of Star Citizen this week. It's starting to sound a lot like FTL gameplay with all this internal ship maintenance. Kind of, sort of. I mean, look at this. Look at what the power management system looks like. It's getting fairly modular. And this UI is definitely looking better and better than the other stuff they made for this. In the ISC, they shot a metal bulkhead once and it combusted into flames, like flammable cloth material. I didn't like that. I would take every shot that they use in ISC as a huge exaggeration to how it'll actually work. They dramatize stuff in that a lot. If the required resources for the higher priority thing aren't available, you do the lower priority thing. Unfortunately, the higher priority thing, FP, aka the game, hasn't had the right resources. Do you think they should add a suit that lets you fly? I think we should be able to use our EVA thrusters in atmosphere. For whatever possible force they can help apply. Not everything inside a ship is metal. Especially Aegis ships, man. They basically put pillows on the sides of their walls. Which does... That would be nice if you're getting thrown around. Okay. The third change we have is a website change. Oh. Let's just do a little perusing on the website real quick. Let's just see what it looks like now. Okay, so we've got main page here, right? It's got its own fonts and its own sort of gradients and transparencies. It's got this grid pattern in the background. Okay, cool. How about a monthly report? Oh, wait. Okay, so now we've got solid colors and different fonts, no transparencies. All right, all right. Not bad, not bad. How about we go to the community hub? Oh, look at that. More solid transparency and different font. Okay. Oh, look, that the heading bar up top is different. All right. Let's go back and how about we look at the ship matrix? Oh, okay, cool. So back to the grid pattern. Gotcha, gotcha. Now there's some transparency again. Okay, great. And don't even get me started on the ship pages. Oh my god. The ship pages are so good. They're so much better than the rest of the website. So I'm happy to hear that there's a website update coming because the website is miserable. I hate it. I like some parts of it, but I'm not a huge fan of the overall website, especially how it's just laid out. This front page, the way it's laid out is very annoying. And one of the things that annoys me the most is like if you come into the comms link and then you just want to find one specific thing, like let's say we're looking for serialized fiction. It only goes back so far, I think. No, that's not it. What was my freaking problem with this one? Now I've forgotten. I think, does it not take the series and stuff? No, that works too. I don't even remember what it is, but there was something about the comm link that really got to me, and now I can't say it, so I look like the ass. You don't think the fire video is real? It had to be faked, prescripted as most of the features they show. No way we will get life support released, and we can surely forget about venting ship out. Well, why watch them if you think in that way? Why wouldn't the fire be real? I can look up fire in their previous development, and they've already had it. It's already been a thing in this game. Like this is 2020. They were able to get fire working in the engine. It's not like it's magic. Here we go. Oh, here's their kind of previs, I think, of what they wanted to have happen ultimately. Some parts of the site are nice and others not so much. Yeah, man. What is that shuttle-looking ship from the top banner of the site? Shuttle-looking ship. Was it the Avenger? Man, that fan is so loud. Hold on, guys. Man. The wind's not coming in here that hard. Why does it sound like it's a blizzard in the microphone? Oh yeah. Well, I mean, all their features can be more trouble than they're worth. It's very easy to get out of control. You understand the spirit of the scripted reference? Yeah, but think Sandworm. It's like the Sandworm was now 8 years ago. Like they're doing things a little bit differently now. I won't say all of the ISC stuff is real, but generally it says when it's not. Like it says that it's a dramatization or something. This is straight up gameplay. Like they're throwing a grenade and the fire is starting. There's not much reason to fake that. They don't have to do something like that. Oh, the first ship was a 600i. It really shouldn't be this easy to post something here. What you meant to say is that there isn't much to show to people who have already decided the results for themselves. Right, you could show, it's like showing someone a video of somebody saying something and then that person being like, nah, it's probably somebody wearing a mask. Like, at some point, you just gotta say you're not gonna believe it. And that's okay. But just say that. Like, you don't have to say it didn't happen. I just need to turn up my my noise gate here. It's really surprising to me that it's picking so much up though. I don't think it's picking up the wind. I think it's picking up the sound of the fan. Hold on. There we go. Now you can't hear anything. There are people in the chat that trust CIG. What's the point of reading the monthly report? If CIG told me that chocolate tasted like peanut butter, I would not believe that. Show us my feet. You want to see my feet, Space Bob? Toes. Yeah, I'm just kidding, folks. He said my fleet. It's okay. We're not that into the toes. Holston Coop, though, thank you for the membership, man. Appreciate you. Feature spotlight about the next patch, not a convention panel, but I understand the skepticism. I understand the skepticism when it comes to a CitizenCon panel. But, like, it's ISC. It's not, yeah, it's advertising the feature, but it's not a place for them to fake gameplay that's not actually in development. I've not tried RTX voice yet. Not yet. Get out of here, Space Bob. Why don't we get started on the monthly report? Let me, should probably record this, because at some point, I'm going to start pulling up references, and I'm going to be like, man, that was a good reference. Why didn't you keep that? Oh, we didn't even go over the website. What did they say? Okay, hold on. Over the last couple of years, the web team has been diligently working on enhancing our website to elevate the user experience. You've seen this in previous upgrades to comlink design and new and improved tools such as Issue Council, Community Hub, and RSI Launcher. There are many steps that make up a larger web initiative to improve the overall web experience. Up next is a revamp to our Pledge store. Didn't they do that recently? I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, sorry. I was looking at the... Yeah, see, this is different from if you... I think this is a different link entirely from this one. Yeah, see, this gives you something in... I guess I already have the game, so it doesn't send me to the same place. But I'm pretty sure the sign-up page is different. It looks a little bit updated now compared to what it was before. The Pledge store. I really hope that they eventually give us an option to start the game without a ship on the Pledge store, though. This aesthetic overhaul isn't just about looks. We've listened to your feedback and identified areas for improvement to make things more intuitive and enjoyable. We're certainly not done here. You can expect a bevy of additional updates on the horizon, all of which are currently in active development. RSI homepage revamp. Oh God, please be a good freaking homepage, dude. They probably lose so much business just because of the webpage and the homepage design. When people hop on here, they don't know anything about this game. Like, the first thing that should be on here is something describing what Star Citizen is, right? Instead, it's gigantic videos of ships flying around. And then if you like click into this and you're like, what is this? Wait, what? Huh? But where do I even go here? What? Support your favorites to the art. What? This would be so confusing. I don't mean to harp on about it. It's not actually going to ruin the company or anything. But I seriously think they've got a little bit of a... There could be more here. This is really all you get about what Star Citizen is. Do the same and be a part. Do the same of what? Do the same and... Why is the one that's meant to be read first on the right? Do the same and be... Oh, I see. No, it's have joined the universe. And they're saying you join the universe. Do the same and be part of creating a living, breathing, first-person universe where you and your friends will be able to explore the stars with unparalleled immersion. Toes! That was a perfectly timed toes. Thank you for the... Where did that come from? Somebody follow? Michael, thank you for following on YouTube. This ain't great. Like, literally right below them describing what Star Citizen is, they should put, I'm not even good at this. I don't know what a website needs. Never designed one, a good one. Mrs. Tomato takes care of ours. I don't know what this takes, but literally right below the identification of what Star Citizen is, they should be putting like the server status and stuff. The server is currently in 3.23.1 live, 3.23.2 PTU, servers live, problem in North America, whatever, like all that kind of stuff. And then give us the community hub. Show them that there's an actual community behind it talking, you know, let somebody click into the forums and see the walls on fire. Maybe don't send people straight to the forums. That actually might scare people away too. But like, I think there's a lot more that they could do in this, with this webpage that they're just not doing. Yeah, nah, not to the forums. That was, I misspoke. Defending the fire. Wait, you can't be talking from years of experience. Yashik, when did they ever make video of the salvager munching another ship? Like, honestly, if you can show me footage that CIG put into ISC of the munching salvage function actually crunching a ship instead of using the claw as a little magical vacuum cleaner thing, then I'll be with you. But you say you have years of experience about this. What do they put on ISC that doesn't make it into the game? As of when they started to do the pre-patch thing, which I guess was just this year. Like, they changed the format of ISC. It's no longer sprint reports and stuff that's coming at any one patch in the next 4 quarters. It's the stuff coming in the next update. Does anyone know if CIG gave any news about gold standard for the Mark 1? No, I don't think they've talked much about that. They could fix a web page with an average college student intern for $25 a month, an hour. Hope they don't overpay for the new web page. I mean, the people who probably, I won't say this as a fact, but I'm pretty sure Turbulent is working on the web page for the main part now. Their web page is pretty solid. I mean, it's very fun to use. It's got a lot of animation to it. Takes a while to load because of that, I guess. So they probably wouldn't make it quite this fancy, since a gaming website needs a faster loading page than this. But like, they do a lot of interesting stuff with their websites. Man, where is the so this like shows a lot of the work that they've put in. And if you scroll all the way down, server meshing, anti-cheat, hex. Hex is what tracks our reputation in the game. No, maybe they're not on the website. I am wrong. So I don't know. But I do think that they're probably paying somebody a lot of money for the website stuff. And a lot of that, the aesthetic part is probably less, like the less side of work that they're doing. Channel points redeem rewards says Firebird, but the giveaways for the cutter. Yeah, we need to change the text on the channel points reward for Twitch. Good spot. Okay. I think I got through all of this. Pledge store refresh, Star Citizen game page update, new platform navigation bar, and RSI homepage. I hope they get this done quick, like before 4.0. All right. Now we've got a monthly report. After all that was... Sorry, we got a little detoured there. This is the July 2024 monthly report. Have a good lurking session, Zero. This is going to be going over everything they did in July. Not everything. It's actually probably a very small amount of what they did in July, because a lot of this work is clearly being held back at this point in terms of delivery. This is a very short report, so this should be an easy one. AI on the features side. Last month, the AI features team worked on a combination of fixes and new functionality, including an issue requiring a usable to have an interactable component. A problem was also solved with stance not being updated, causing issues with AI exiting cover. So they'd kind of crouch run out at you. Like what are those things called from Gears of War? Those things that like run on all fours. Imagine a Ninetales soldier coming out at you, just like running on all fours. Sorry, that's a weird stance anyways. Why would you be on all fours in a firefight? This bug was caused by conflicting changes between Squadron 42 and Star Citizen when merging features. That sucks. The recall for what video a feature was originally shown in is amazing. I get help. Don't give me all that credit. I can't remember all that off the top of my head. I get help. Sometimes I know thumbnails of videos that they've put out, but it helps. CIG showed the reclaimer hull munching in the Drake Vulture video. Well, that's a trailer. I said ISC. Please nobody believe what they show you in the trailers. That's the worst idea. You'd like to see Spectrum in a Mobi app? mainly for bug reporting. Yeah, that'd be great to have Spectrum on the Moby. All right, the team solved problems with tactical query system conditions, silently failing without setting results, which led to uninitialized memory bugs. For example, when running the reachable condition, it occasionally returned a true result, when the point was not reachable because the result variable had not been initialized as false. This was blocking the testing of the cover hit reactions test level. Man, AI features. Brigadier, you didn't really miss much. We just started the website. Looked at the website update. Now we're on the monthly report. An issue with vision raycasting allowing NPCs to see through buildings was rectified alongside bugs with NPCs using the multi-tool. Are you telling me that NPCs have been looking at us through walls? Like, yeah, that was kind of clear, but also, nah, I don't think they saw me a lot of times. Or maybe that was just them not reacting to seeing me. Who knows anymore? The team also added dynamic object handling to the vision component to fix vision raycasts and entities from being blocked when doors change states. The handling of situation changes during aimed at events was improved too. New functionality was developed to support and restrict movement within assigned schedule combat areas, including being able to set up schedule areas and tags through the editor rather than just through the schedule. This allows I'm kind of just coasting through this, to be honest. This allows the designers to more carefully control fights by giving the AI areas of interest, in a similar way to the existing tech for defend and attack areas, but on a broader scale. The AI team also added a significant piece of new functionality, AI groups. This enables perception data to be shared between AI within the same group, giving the designers more control over how NPCs are brought into fights and how they work together. For this, the team added a variety of entity changes, including AI group entity, allowing the designers to assign NPC groups. That's a surprise. AI group entity component, a runtime component to define NPC groups that can share knowledge such as perception data. Okay. Wouldn't they all still always be able to share data? I guess not if they can't communicate in some way. Interesting, like animals. AI group entity exports group members as parts of object container data. Okay. AI group entity is a data forge record and on friendly call to arms heard. Wow. An event to bring the rest of the group into combat. That's like a very literal tag. Elsewhere, the team reviewed and made improvements to how AI uses wild lines, including adding new combat communication wild lines such as surrendering. Gotcha. Grenade reactions and throwing, investigation, hit reaction, reloading, and perception reactions. Basically just to let us know that they're doing those things. I'm throwing a grenade! Frag out. A script was created to check duplicate and unused communication names in pursuit of the gold standard wildline setup. The gold standard. The gold standard. There's a video I need to work on. Gold standard ships. All right, AI tech. For AI tech, remember the way this usually works is that AI tech creates something that goes to AI features who work on something and send it to AI content. So they didn't even have an AI content section on this report. But these are the guys working on generally the earlier stuff. For AI tech, the team continued working on the AI vision and movement systems for server meshing. This will allow NPCs to transition from one server to another without losing their previous context. Various optimizations were made to including to the observable and vision components and to collision avoidance when NPC fly ships and drive ground vehicles. Updates were also made to the tactile point system queries used by ship AI behaviors. Sorry, I just kind of blacked out. What did I read? I really just want to read the gameplay sections of these reports, but I'm mainly bummed out because I can see how small these sections are, and I know they're not really going to have much in them. But maybe we can cross our fingers. I feel like I would have heard about it already. Art on the character side. July saw the character art team begin to work on utility armor. They also progressed with specialist armors supporting requests for the character customizer and worked through art debt for loot items. Interesting. Is it too dark in here? Thank you. I believe we have some shots of utility armor, maybe? Yeah, okay, this is the Gray Cat armor we already have. This is like really the only purpose-built utility armor we have. I think there's... Yeah, I don't think any of the other ones really counts as utility. I like this armor. It's nice. It's very aggressive utility. It's like maybe you're punching boxes and stuff, but it is utility nonetheless, at least in terms of looks. I do wonder if they're going to have any sort of customization of it in the same way that combat has customization. So rather than doing character skills and upgrading your player, although it sounds like they might start doing that, they wanted to have your benefits built into the things you use. So one of those things is the dynamic crosshair. For the first time in the game, they have built a specific perk to using a specific type of armor. Combat helmets give you a dynamic crosshair whenever you bring up a gun. No other helmets in the game do that. And that's important because that shows that they are now getting started with armor customization. You can see the crosshair here. It's a ray cast, so it tracks exactly where the bullet would go at any point if you shot the weapon instead of just like a general area. You can see that means it moves based on where the weapon is aimed rather than where your eyeballs are aimed. This is only for that specific helmet. It could be the case that utility armor has something different to it. Maybe additional connection points that no other armor gets. Maybe the ability to scan for resources with the FPS visor. I don't think that would ever be in the game this early, but you get what I'm saying. Like, yeah, this is just an art update, but this could also mean some form of benefit from utility. But yeah, that's like mining and stuff. They showed artwork at CitizenCon. Really? Jones, what's your question? Hit me with it. What's up, Drazen? How you doing, dude? Let's see. Continuing on, they also progressed with specialist armors, supporting requests for the character customizer, and worked through art debt for loot items. What was specialist armors? June monthly report. I'll have to type in this June month. God, this web browser knows me. Art in the character side last month said the character art team progressed with 3 specialist armors. Okay, so they're working on 3. See, if you just read the July one, they don't even tell you how many are being worked on. Maybe there's more than 3 though. Finalize the update to the utility armor. Oh, wait, what? Huh? What? Somebody explain that to me. How, what? Oh my God, CIG. What does that mean? How is it that in June of 2024, they finalized the update to the utility armor, but in July of 2024, they began work on the utility armor? Wait. Finalize the update. What? They continued exploring designs for utility armor? Okay, so like maybe these are different utility armors? I don't see how else that could be the case unless it's a different kind of art. Maybe in July they finalized the concept art and then in June they were doing the in-game art. I don't know. They're not even specifying that. I have no idea. Yeah, maybe that's a new set of utility armor. I have no clue. I hope it is. Otherwise, that's a confusing line. The character art concept art team. See, okay, here's their talking about concept art. Explored new designs for fauna, while the hair team progressed with additional hairstyles. All right, let's play a little game. I need somebody to clip this. Are you ready? We're gonna play a game of Was This Right? We're gonna go back, all the way to when they started doing their first concepts of fauna, and look at the choices we have. So, take this off here for the recording. So that was like an alligator, right? It's a big freaking alligator, Jesus. Up in here, we've got some like kind of scorpion looking things or spidery snake centipede looking things. Ew. I have a thing with centipedes now because they're stupid bodies. This thing we already know is the pyro crab. We've actually seen that in engine. Technically, I mean, we think we saw it in engine. It was kind of an Easter egg. But this is a creature that is supposed to be at pyro, but they haven't talked about being in 4.0, so I don't know what they've done with that. And let me actually show you. It's really funny, and you guys can tell me what you think, if this is the creature or not. Where are you? Where are you? Actually, let's go through the other concepts first. So this is like a tiger kind of thing. It's got like an armory scaled back. This could have been what turned into the Copion. Maybe, maybe not. This thing's freaking huge compared to the Copion, but like it was years ago. This is 2020. So I'm showing you guys all this because I want to see if any of these are the ones that we end up seeing in the game that they're talking about right now. Because I think they have an ISC on Fauna coming up soon. So they're working on something. Here we have the Boreal Stalker. This is technically not a native to Microtech, but that's where it is found. Predator in the forests. Looking real clean and nice. There's also that one. And then we've got this gigantic bird. I honestly thought this is the bird they were talking about in the beginning of the year, but I think that was just the little sprite thingy they did. And last but not least, the whale. Space whale. That's in Crusader. Okay, so let me show you the alien that we think we saw back in ISC. It's called the Pyro Crab. And I don't have the freaking... Colonial. Okay, this might pull it up. I realize I don't have it labeled in the video file. I have all, and this is like all of the colonial style stuff. Seth, thank you. Maybe it was a typo in that report. Okay, this is the episode. Yeah, all right. I think it pops up in this video. Get ready to zoom into your screen. These are like the very, very early versions of what they wanted to bring to Pyro eventually. To give you an idea of how long ago they were working on this, this is 2020. And yes, I have been cutting up and saving Inside Star Citizen episodes since 2020. All right, let's jump ahead a little bit here. Here we go. You see that? Zoom in on that. And let me just... Sorry. I just said to zoom in on it and then I completely blocked it. Oh, come on. How is there no... How did I not label it as crab? How close does that look? And I mean, it's not even the finished model. You can tell they just took whatever was in the concept art and put it there. But that's it, yeah? That's like definitely it. It's basically the same shape. So that was like a little Easter egg they dropped. And I think for one of the creatures they're working on, but that thing's huge. If I got the scale right here. I do not have a link to download this video. What I can tell you is that it is a video from November of 2020. But that's all I've got, unfortunately. Will we ever be able to find abandoned, overgrown, derelict ships? Bring them back up to flight ready, albeit labor and component intensive? I don't know. I think a few years ago I would have said yes, but I don't know if we will be able to. They've certainly expressed interest in that possibility, and the idea behind a player derelict ship if they leave their ship alive and gone and they don't retrieve it, technically you should be able to repair it. But I don't know. Oh yeah, the location is definitely Pyro. This was Pyro 2. 3? 3 or 2 before its big update. We need xylophods. Those would be cool. Ananzi! You're late. Nah, you're good, dude. You're good. Hey, how many people just came over on Twitch from Star Citizen Live? Holy crap, I should just go live an hour later on Fridays. Player crashes on moon. They reclaim and respawn. You find it. Think that's possible? I do think that's possible. Just like... I'm not going to say it is now. Art on the ship's side. No, Ananzi. You're late. Not to work. July saw ship art working toward new milestones for the vehicles currently in production, including... Look at how short they're being, including the RSI Polaris, Zeus, and 3 unannounced ships. Okay, can we just like go back to... let's say the March monthly report and see what they did to update their ship art section. All right, check us out. March saw progress on the RSI Zeus. Gray box was completed and all functionality has been validated, with the ship currently in the beauty and polish stage. Habitation in the central hallways made significant progress and are approaching completion, while the cargo hold continues to progress with the loading ramp's main piston structure improving rapidly, as well as the ramp interior and exterior. The landing gear is nearly complete and the overall exterior continues to progress too. The Anvil Legionnaire is in white box complete, with the team currently on gameplay validation and for artists to free up before they send to a full development. The team's work on the resource network begins with 10 ships nearing completion, some of which received the updated list of ship items. Update on a legacy ship continued too, with updates to the dash, cockpit, and some exterior housings. And then you go to July, and they're like, ship art work towards new milestones for the vehicles currently in production. What happened? Where'd all the detail go? They didn't even mention white box or gray box. They were just like, yeah, they all did stuff. The concept art looks like Pyro 1, so they're only in Pyro 1. Well, I don't know where the aliens would be specifically. Don't trust the concept art, you know? Yeah, just in progress. We're working on them. Things are happening. Production of 3 new vehicles kicked off too, alongside 2 new concepts. So keep in mind, they use the word vehicles here and ships here. So they have 3 unannounced ships and... Actually, no, never mind. Sorry. They have 3 ships, but this could also include ships. Most of the time. Sometimes they're not consistent with this. I don't freaking know. They have some good 2D and 3D artists. They do have some good artists. This game's got great artists and a good art side of the engine. Just need all that other stuff, you know? The meat. All right. So the RSI Polaris and Zeus are being worked on, and 3 unannounced ships. They haven't really talked too much about... I don't think the ships at the end of last year's CitizenCon video count as unannounced ships. I think that those are all still technically unannounced. So, we could be looking at this ship. And these are reaching milestones. These aren't just starting. So these are somewhere in like possibly the gray box phase. And it could be this ship. Could be this ship. People are speculating this is a starter ship from Crusader. I think Crusader anvil, it seems like to me. But yeah, it could be one of those two ships. There's no real way of knowing anything else that's not been announced. Fat Fury. I don't know what else. It could be the new Raven concept that they've been working on. They technically haven't announced that, so there you go. That's an unannounced ship that we know is coming soon. It could have just reached flight ready or final art. And then we've got 3 new vehicles kicking off alongside 2 new concepts. That's interesting. 2 new concepts is essentially there is no way we could possibly know what these would be, because new concepts aren't really based on any sort of update. They aren't based on any talks or anything that they've told us previously about those ships. These 3 new vehicles could be anything. This could be the G12. It could be the Apollo. It could be the let's see, they talked about the Legionnaire. It could be the freaking Ranger. What else could this be? I mean, it's production starting off on 3 new vehicles too. It's not even making any progress. So things that we've seen already in progress would be eliminated from that. So not the Apollo, but it definitely could be the G12. It could be the Raylan. It could be the Expanse. Yeah, there's a lot of options it could be, but I don't know what it would be. New vehicles though. One of them's probably a ground vehicle. Are they going to work on performance and stability? Yes, they always are. They always are working on performance and stability. It's just a very long-term initiative. Okay. Core gameplay. It's my favorite section. Thank God we're here. Let's talk about core gameplay. This is your meat and potatoes. This is what we're actually doing in the game. This is really things that matter. This is the gameplay, not the supporting stuff. They made this a new section, I think, last year, and it really makes it easier to get through these monthly reports. This is the section you should read if you're just casually going to check in on one of these reports. This and the economy section are probably the 2 most interesting. All right. All right, just catching up on live chat. You hate how active chat gets when it's about ships? I love how active chat gets. I hope you guys get active in the gameplay section too. When you guys are talking, it's fun to get distracted. Sorry for everybody who's watching the YouTube rerun of this, the deep dive. The gameplay features team progressed with a wide variety of features throughout July, beginning with charge and drain. Gosh. I think, oh, I'm in the wrong folder. If I'm correct, charge and drain shouldn't just be from the multi-tool. And I might not be correct. There's a good chance I'm not correct. There's a clip that they gave us a while back. It might have been during a gameplay demo. Yeah, you know what? I think that's what it was. Look at what I was looking at last time I was checking this video out. It's right here. I think this is the first time they showed us this idea of charging and discharging things in the game. There you go. No power. You charge up the door. Gives you the ability to get through a doorway. You know, little puzzle things, little interactivity. It also highlights engineering and resource management. And I believe, didn't they show this at in one of the panels last year at CitizenCon? Must have been in like in the first person experience one. I thought it was part of the. There it is. Yeah, so something like this.
So this is just a small taste of the level of interactivity that we can now have with these objects. We had really nice results for squadrons.
I don't think that is charge and drain, actually. That looks more hydraulic than electric, but I do think they'll implement it in places kind of like this. Probably not in 4.0. Jesus, don't think it's going to go anywhere impressive in 4.0. But the whole idea of being able to interact with the environment and change things based on the power or electricity provided is going to be, yeah, that's a big addition. That's good. This will eventually affect ships, weapons. It probably is going to make the EMP effect act differently because it's an actual EMP now. Like instead of doing just like a shooting at the, I don't know, laser charge and drain something. I don't know how they'll do it. Instead of just draining or charging something with your gun, maybe they'll set it off as a pulse and you have the same charge and drain effect. It's just larger. This could be how they change up all that kind of stuff too. All right, for this feature, they added networking support to the wider feature, adding networking support for bringing unpowered items back to life, implemented weapon rollback, and supported UI implementation. Progress was then made on the overheat mechanic, improving ways to tune heat values. Moving forward, all energy weapons will have the potential to overheat. I wonder if this applies to ships, because holy crap. Let me show you. Let me show you something real good here. The heat system's around here somewhere. I was looking for this picture. But this is so small. I want this picture for my thumbnail for my video coming out tomorrow. Here it is. Heat. Improving the current heat system to provide a more systemic experience between items and vehicles. This will cover a variety of issues and their effects on vehicles, from how heat affects various components in a ship to incorporating heat values into the room system. We talked about that at the beginning of the stream. All the way up to defining the ambient heat of a solar system. So, we do have some levels of heat, but it doesn't really get too wild in ships just yet, or in items in general, weapons. This sounds like they're finally bringing it over to actual items in the game, including all energy weapons will have the potential to overheat. Someday, maybe. Think about it, CIG. If anybody's listening, please. Scott, Tabin, anyone on the team. Can we get something like the OG Halo Combat Evolved plasma rifle? Please. That'd be awesome. I love that gun. It's got a place in my heart. I hated using it. It's just something about the sound of it, the way it overcharged, the way elites were pissed if you shot them with it. Anyways, I'm a big old Halo fan. This is the chief. This is Halo guy. I really like that game series. Okay. Tasks were also completed for light amplification, adding control hints to toggle it on and off on supported scopes, while bugs were fixed for the fire extinguisher and quantum travel for server meshing. I've seen a couple videos of the light amplification scopes showing up in PTU, so I'm guessing they're starting to be tested and they will be in 3.24. Makes sense since tasks were completed. Nice to see something from the monthly report getting into the game literal days within the monthly report coming out. That's pretty cool. But it's still not for visors. It's still not for your overall experience. It's just for the scopes on guns. So it's not quite what we wanted, but it's getting closer. Using 20th century guns 900 years in the future is depressing. Hey, man. I mean, we still use gun designs from like 1,000 years ago right now, right? I don't even know when the first gun was made. It's a long time ago, right? Well, let's say when was the first rifle made? Google, do you know? 15th century. Yeah, so I mean, only 500 years ago, we still use rifles that look like this. That's not that crazy. But besides that point, I think I would prefer them use a wider range of technology years to define how many weapons they can make instead of really like making everything look similar, you know? It'd be annoying if they were like, okay, all of the weapons have to look like they were from 2700 to 2900 rather than being like, hey, you know what? Let's just make them look like everything and then throw some fun parts on them. No, we don't. You telling me we do not have guns that look like that rifle? Come on. I bet somebody in chat can find me. If you don't think we have guns that look like this still around, then are you really a gun person? Somebody's got to be able to find me stuff that looks like that. Like, look at this. Aren't these new? Aren't these incredibly common looking designs? No. I mean, if you're talking about the firing mode of the gun, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that general design. A long barreled rifle with a big stock and an iron sight on the end. Yeah, there's a little freaking bar in the end. But like, come on. I'm just saying, it's not that crazy to have a gun from 2500 in a game that takes place in 2900. Especially if it's made with actual quality, which we know it's not because quality continues to get worse every year. And that's the end of my boomer moment. All right, gameplay features. Continued improving control surfaces, addressing various tuning issues while zero-G traversal markers were implemented. Control surfaces are what are going to make you start to have trouble hovering. That's what's bringing back hover mode for us. For the multifunction display MFD rework, comms list, hail target, and comms call functional... okay, yeah. Functionality were added. Sorry, I thought for a second that hail target was something different. Work also began on... Wait. No, that's right. Can we hail target right now? I don't think we can. And that's always been... I feel like right now you can get into proximity chat and say something and not knowing if you're actually going through to the player. But I think if somebody hails your ship and talks, it should probably come through the game sound. Would that make more sense than putting it through like the comms sound? Because if anybody gets hailed, you can always guarantee they're actually going to hear who's talking to them, rather than if they don't have the whole like voice setup going on, they might not hear it. Or should it still go through the chat comms? And this is if somebody actually accepts your call. That'd suck if you could just spam your voice into into somebody else's cockpit. Man, the stream's falling behind, huh? Everybody's just now answering me the gun questions. Sound from the ship screen. Seems reasonable. But like, you really got to be careful who you're taking calls from. All right, so yeah, control surfaces stop you from falling out of the sky because your ship can actually fly and it doesn't need to rely on its maneuvering thrusters. And zero-G traversal markers. I don't know what that is. That's cool though. It's not what they were showing in the fire video. Work also began on weapons groups to allow players to switch between group presets. FPS players, what does that mean? I am an FPS player, but I don't actually know weapon groups for group presets. Like, is that like, no, that wouldn't make sense. What would that mean? Oh, on ships. I'm an idiot. I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. I was thinking FPS weapons. Groups on ships. Holy crap. That's just a bad one, man. Last month, significant progress was made on jump points, with gameplay features providing design with the ability to define exit locations, which will also have physics force to push players away from the exit. Players will now also get pulled into the tunnel one by one when making a jump. One by one? One by one is so boring. I'm trying to... I guess technically when you're jumping into space after a jump point, it wouldn't look that weird because you're one right after the other. But I would really love if you could all just come into the location at the same time, but I guess the quantum jump kind of allows for that. Improvements were also made to tunnel generation. For example, the team now has radial control over 8-way logic, better control point tension parameters, more accurate section probability, and improved stability. The tunnels are less prone to self-intersection at corners too. Alongside this, updates were made to the jump UI, including icon and color changes, text fade in and out, contextual nav points, and general heads-up display fade in and out depending on the approach angle. Huh. Yeah, the UIs for these look a lot better than other stuff they've made. Like, it does make me feel like what we get from the new quantum travel is going to be pretty solid. Let's see if we have any, I don't know, earlier in the episode. If you have any shots inside the cockpit here. Jump point and HUD. No? Gotta have some shots with the HUD here. There we go. So something like this. You can see... Actually, you can't see it here. They didn't do a very good job. Shot like this might have something. Man, I'm not going to find any of the actual UI for this. I could have just gone to the video itself for all this trouble. No. Alright, I'm going to give up on this in like 6 or 7 seconds. Nope. Okay. The UI looks better than what we've had before. And I think that means that the quantum travel UI will also look better, which is good because the quantum travel UI has always been... I really like the quantum travel UI from before 3.0. Tell me what you guys think of this. Okay, now I've got to... There you go. This UI compared to what we have right now. Oh, we lost the UI. We lost the UI for cinematics, but you get the idea. It kind of actually labels a bit of a tunnel for you in the UI elements. Maybe it's nostalgia.
Last week
But I like that one. I hope they go back to something like that when they're launching it. You don't like it? That ship looks cool. 85X. Really nice ship. I love it. It's a good... I think it's the smallest ship that can carry 2 people. It's going to make for a great little runabout, or like a taxi. Orbital to planetary taxi kind of thing. Which now that I'm seeing the way they're doing cargo missions, I know I'm getting way off track. Now that we see the way they're doing cargo missions, I could see them doing passenger transport missions the same way. You take somebody from Seraphim Station down to one of the many landing zones down there. You take a security officer from Everest Harbor down to one of the many outposts, or a Covalix shipping employee down from Port Tressler to New Babbage. Like, I totally think that passenger transport missions, for as many as we'll have, take 40 people in your Starliner to the next star system over. I think we'll have little taxi missions on a planetary scale, and that 85X is going to be perfect for it. Good ship to check out if you're looking for something small. I don't think it's a quantum. No, it does have a quantum engine. I know we just watched it quantum jump, but I'm not sure if it... I think it does. I think it's the only snub ship with a quantum drive. Let's see. Propulsion and engines. Yeah, it's got a quantum drive. That's freaking wild, man. It's 13.5 meters long. How many ships in the game are that small? This is a good ship if you want something small. Not that I'm trying to sell or anything. Sound like a sales pitch. UI will be customizable. Hopefully can get different skins. Heck yeah, man. I want the Star Wars skin where it blurs all the stars. All right. Continuing on, July also saw progress on engineering gameplay, including making fully distorted items consume resources despite not being functional. Oh, that sucks. So if you get long-term distorted, they could just make you drain your own fuel. Toes. You don't even trust your friends to drive you around. That's why we got to have a good rating system. Pyrophoric, thank you for continuing on that sub. Didn't really move my mouth there. 7 months though, dude. Appreciate you. Thanks for the support. Support was added for Master Modes 2, with Quantum Drives now going fully offline in SMC mode and Shields going offline in Nav mode. The engineering screens in MFD progressed with tasks beginning on power assets and the assignments and the assignment UI. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh, the assignment UI means we can actually limit people on the ship from doing certain things. Talking about you, Vasson. No, I'm kidding. I don't have anybody I'd limit, but that does start to give you the ability to have a specific sort of like people loadout per ship, I guess. I'm assuming that persists. So if the same group of people get on your ship every day, they all have assigned places where they can and can't react. This also means that when I do finally do my my community Among Us match in the 890 jump, it'll be a lot more interesting. People aren't going to rage about those master mode changes. Isn't this already what happens? They probably just faked it before and now they're actually turning the components off. Yeah, well, not specializations. It's, let's see. They talked about this on the first ISC they did about it. Jeez, it's fun. I hate it, man. Star Citizen Engineering. I don't even know what they would have called it. They had names for this stuff, right? Resource network. I think this might have it.
A new recurring initiative.
I think it was Dan Truffin that described it though. So no, this is, you know what it's on? I know what it's on.
Fixing certain malfunctions. They manage the resource consumption via the presets, the tuner.
Tuna. Gotta have yo tuna in Star Citizen. Oh my god. I'm just not able to find this video. Nettoker. Wow, I messed that up. Here it is. Good God. Power play, of course, is what they call it. Why didn't I know that? So they talk about it.
Dig into the details and see what exactly those manages, life support, item maintenance, relay handling, access control, and
Access control is what we're looking for. So I don't know, gosh, where do they go over that?
Management part that you as the engineer on the ship have to do there. It's basically defining the circuits in the most effective way, especially for bigger ships. So a relay is something that defines which items are connected to each other and what we want to achieve.
We're introducing ship roles. The captain will be able
Okay, so this is what they're talking about in the monthly report.
to assign certain roles to each of his crewmates, and for example, say one of the player becomes the engineer, which gives them specific access to certain controls, while the person that is the pilot will not have access to those controls. At the same time, a gunner will only have access to a specific gun or all the guns of the ship.
And finally, gravity. So gravity
So
is...
that actually, I'm realizing, is going to be insane if you're doing like a Starliner passenger trip and you have to say every NPC that's coming on here doesn't have access to anything. Is that going to be somebody's sole job for like large passenger transport missions? Because you're going to, maybe you can set the default permissions as nobody has any control and then go from there. That would, you guys are smart. That would make more sense. Good job. Thanks for telling me that. Cool. Okay, so that's the assignment UI, I imagine. Life support and fuel information were also added, while the power display was improved. Here's the good stuff. The radar and scanning feature progressed, with gameplay features adding delta signatures to the HUD and MFD and moving the jammer from the signature system to the radar component for easier integration with other systems. The delta signatures are like significance events. If somebody quantum jumps, if they activate their weapons, if they change into quantum mode, like all of those things would give you delta signatures, which probably have a separate call out, like an audible call out from your ship computer that tells you it's detected something weird. I think the best way they could do it is have it call something out, and then if you press a button within a couple of seconds, it draws your attention to whatever caused that delta signature. But this seems like a way to signal to people that something significant is happening besides just, oh, they targeted you or they shot you. Like, I guess this is supposed to help you before all that happens. But yeah, delta signature scanning and the jammer to the radar system is good. It seems like they're moving more and more towards actually having a radar in this game, which we can see from Squadron 42. It's taking a while for it to come over here. Don't know why. The overall HUD. Did I wait? Nope, sorry. Reading the wrong thing. More information was added to the charge scan UI, including maximum held charge, a notification when attempting to scan during cooldowns, and fade out and collapse animations. I haven't... Okay, so this is the radar. I think this is the ping, I'm guessing. Charge scan. I don't see why would it be anything else. And we have some video from that from a while ago. Way back when they were... So you guys want to see the first version of this I have recorded? Here's the original 2018 scanning system. That's the charge, and that's the ping. Looks like you're firing out Doritos. Just like a bunch of small blue Doritos. I actually kind of like the animation of you finding those anomalies there. This little whoop, squares popping up. So there it is again, and it lets you fire it straight out like that, and you can get a further detection. I still don't believe that actually works. It's really... It works very poorly right now. The whole collapsing your signature and charging or scanning more in the front than anywhere else. and then finding something further away. I don't know about that. But we can see how they've upgraded it over the years. So here is the 2021 version, which has a nice animating UI. It looks a lot better. This is what I think what we have right now. And then that's just the regular scanning that he's doing right there. Here's the ping. This is the charge and scan they're talking about. But you don't even get to see... I don't think you really saw how much he charged it. I guess there was the charge on the side. The UI was probably kind of glitched back then. But they're adding this to the FPS version as well. So there's the ping. And there's the wave that's scanning. And, you know, people see it as... Yeah, the wall hack. There it is. People see it as wall hacks. People... not to say that's a bad thing, but... It is part of technology again and equipment. Maybe it'll be specialized. Who knows? Audio signature missions were added with the devs while the devs began implementing FPS ping counterplay, with players being detected and highlighted if they FPS ping depending on various factors. So you pinging somebody else can make you visible to them. They may put in armor in this game that doesn't allow you to see things that are pinged in that armor. So it could be that they can basically reveal yourself without seeing where they are if they have the right stuff on. So that could be interesting. Not to say that they're absolutely doing that, but I could see that being an option. The overall HUD was polished and decluttered too. For example, nameplates only show for targeted ships. Distance only appears for targeted and pinned ships. Okay. Target information shows for scanned targets, and how long target information is shown was decreased. Interesting. I do like I like cleaning up of the HUD a little bit. It's gotten a little bit cluttered. Audio signature emissions were added while the devs began implementing FPS ping counterplay, with players being detected and highlighted if they ping. Okay, we just read that. The new vehicle annunciator system was added, which supports power, weapons, thrusters, shields, proximity mode. That's still going to be radar, quantum, missiles, coolers, and shots. So all of those will be in the little annunciator. Here, I'll show you what that is. Annunciator. Okay. Do I not have any videos of him? All right. Never mind. I won't show you what that is. Following last month's progress on the mission refactor, the team added the option to spawn objectives at random points near planets, both inside and outside the atmosphere. Alongside this, the ability to attach objectives to players was added, contract generation was improved, and the new contract broker service was implemented. The latter was created by the online services team and enables full contract details and properties to be procedurally generated client-side from contract definition. It's a lot of contract. Me go back to that. So the ability to attach objectives to players was added. Bounties, investigation missions, medical missions, that kind of thing. Contract generation was improved and the new contract broker service was implemented. Okay. The latter was created by the online services team and enables full contract details and properties to be procedurally generated client-side from contract definition. Basically, they're going to generate the mission on the client side. Right, the radar has its own component now, yeah? All right, support was also given to actual missions, with various bugs being fixed and improvements made to the back end of hauling contracts. Further support was given to Blockade Runner. While various issues with the UI were fixed, the contract manager's abandoned button behavior was extended to hauling missions too. Various updates were made for the upcoming cargo release. For example, they added search functionality to the item bank and freight elevator kiosk. Adjustments to auto-loading times based on box size and debugging functionality to the instanced interior system. Love to hear some adjustments on auto loading. That's good. Also payments, please. The payments are abysmal. Bug fixing was also done for the cargo system, air traffic control, item bank, freight elevator kiosk, and cargo missions. There's your bug fixing. Somebody asked before. Economy team. July saw the economy team progressing with their tasks for Pyro, including the outer rings. They also were... Oh, that's fun. They also worked on a refactor that will allow them to create and modify ships in a more scalable manner. For cargo, balancing was done to the price and time of auto-loading to give players the choice between manually loading or paying for convenience and speed. Oh. Wait. What? How come it says paying for convenience and speed as if speed is a good thing? Is it going to be faster to auto-load? That seems to imply that they're saying manually loading will be slower than what you get for paying, which I don't mind. I'm just wondering if they want to do a payment, a time penalty or a time benefit from paying. Because ultimately, I think the equation for people comes down to time versus money. Obviously, being there or not being there is a thing, but I think people are going to tend to just go for whatever is faster and then pay the money to do that. So a speed benefit would definitely get more people to do auto loading, I think. In fact, I think a speed benefit would make it so the only people who are doing manual loading are the people who actually like it. Or you're broke. Manual loading's supposed to be faster. I mean, yeah, it is right now, but they are definitely here saying manually loading or paying for convenience and speed. I don't think they would list speed as a benefit to pay for if it was slower. Wonder if any groups will try speed runs on loading. Oh, I think we're going to get cargo loading exercises. I think the cargo loading, maybe this is a mistype too. Maybe they just got into marketing mode. I think cargo loading tournaments are definitely going to be a thing. I think that's referring to what we have on PTU right now. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you keep tipping them money. They're like, okay, we'll do it. I'll say this: their original idea for this does indeed actually show you that, Matt. Let's see if I could find it. I think it's in this folder. No. Not seeing it. What would it even be called? Cargo. No. There's a picture of the original intent for this, and it shows the ability to stack additional NPCs into the job to decrease your time but increase your pay. It's a really interesting picture. I don't know if they're still going in that direction, but I'd like to show it to you. Well, this is wildly disappointing. I don't know where it would be. Ha! Wait. This is one of them. Okay, now I know what it's called. Okay, maybe I don't. Why? Why don't I have it? That's really weird. I know this picture. Okay. Yeah. This one still has it on it. This isn't the picture I was thinking of, but here we go. So this is the idea of loading commodities into a Cutlass Black. And you can see this model shows you kind of this was pretty old. It says it's loading your stuff. You're paying for a certain amount of time, but it does say here that you can hire workers. They are 3,000 each. I'm guessing that is per minute maybe, and it gives you a 5% time reduction. So there is the possibility that they'll make it like what Matt Sully is saying, in that the more you pay, the less time it is. And that'd be cool. So I almost forgot about that. Anyways, a balance pass was also done on vehicle components, including new life support systems and jump drives. Okay. Finally, the devs continued to develop their understanding of player profiles to ensure that each career is profitable according to the long-term vision of the economy. That's good. And not making them absolutely exact when it comes to profitability. Yeah, people will try and meta the fastest way to make money, but maybe make them make more money and less money compared to each other at different stages. Mix it up a bit. In-game branding continued wrapping up the tasks for jump points and the pyro system, polishing content and ensuring everything fits the environment. Cool. Mission design. They continued working on unannounced content alongside a suite that uses individual features to create a complex form of repair missions. Ooh. Oh, that's real good. Is that missions using engineering? Man, I wonder how long that's going to take to make. I hope it's not more than a year, but I expect it to be a long time. For the latter, they identified key structures that would be used to ensure a location stays up and running and made them breakable. I like that. Yeah. Using information gathered from cargo gameplay, work began on resource gathering. The current focuses on emergent gameplay that pulls resources from the verse, starting with mining. For example, if a location requests a specific resource, the player can choose how to acquire it, by mining, buying, or piracy. I think the cargo gameplay will always be the same. I think it will always be based on the boxes you get, which is, that's really annoying. Because how are you gonna know? They need to give us some UI methods of knowing when you're getting boxes from different locations that are getting delivered at the same one, or at different ones. So like somebody said in chat yesterday, you could have 18 boxes of platinum, and 10 of that goes to Orison, and 5 of that goes to Everest Harbor, and 3 of it goes to Crew L1. What if you turn in the 3 from Crew L1 to Orison, you failed that Crew L1 mission, and you didn't really have any way of knowing that they were supposed to go to one or the other? So they're going to need some kind of UI tool, or they definitely need to unlink the missions from the cargo boxes. But if it is from a different place, they kind of have the ability to... No, it's a game. It's a game. They just allow you to. It's like technically in real life, yeah, you might actually fail a delivery if you send it to the wrong place, but we don't have a freaking shipping label. It's in the contract, but they don't tell you, like, they need to make the UI indicator of what box is which clear, or else you might turn in the wrong box to the wrong place, even if they're the same stuff. All right. Alongside this, progress was made on the mission system refactor, which will change how missions are offered and future-proof the wider systems. It also creates an opportunity to fix legacy issues and folder structures and reassess existing missions. It'll also be able to implement new features into the mission system to allow greater control and create more MMO-style features and content. MMO features! You're a truck driver and the shipper and receiver almost always loads and unloads for free. Just saying. Well, I know I just said it's a game, so don't worry about it. But if you knew the lore of the UEE and humanity overall in this game, it wouldn't surprise you that they're charging you money. These people are awful. Can't stay in chat, just drive by and hi. See you later, Abzimli Erd. Thanks for dropping by, friend. Yeah, I know. Lore reasons, no. Yeah, I think it's just gameplay related that they want to just charge money for time, because time versus money is the best sort of exchange you can make in a game, really. All right, narrative. The narrative team spent July continuing to support development for Alpha 4.0. This included a mixture of mission text, brainstorming ideas for additional mission content, and delving into some of the various locations being placed by the environment and design teams. Brainstorming ideas. Okay, I would love to get I want to hear from the mission and narrative teams about 4.0 itself, like a Q&A or something. Because I really would like to know how much content coming in 4.0 is actually unique. I think a lot of people want to know that. You know, if asteroid bases are just going to be the bunker missions without anything really setting them apart, what does that really do for us? Yeah, factions might make a difference, but there need to be some kind of objectives there. Explain the lore, can't bite the hand that feeds. Almost every single planet in this game, planet, not system, is settled and driven forth by corporatocracy. Even if it has to do with the military finding a good planet for new cities, many of the times they're looking for systems that have good military advantages, so there is that. But otherwise, generally, it gets settled if it has good resources. Sometimes it's for the planets themselves, but a lot of times it's very profit-driven. And the UEE is only like 150 years away from like almost a quarter century dictatorship that was really, really bad. And a lot of the companies and people who are still in power were part of that system that was created under that dictatorship. So they're not the nicest people. They're just kind of hiding their stuff better. Like Hurstons aren't really. They dump sewage on their people. You basically get sewage and trash dumped on you as soon as you leave your hab in Lorville. But Star Citizen's a pretty dark fiction. They just haven't put it in the game very much yet. You can kind of, if you piece bits together though, you start to get an idea of it. Like you go into the prison and it's got that strong propaganda vibe to it, trying to make you feel happy. Manual labor to go and mine things down in the moon surface to pay off your time. Like it gets there. So it'd be nice if more of that was in the game. On the Star Citizen 1.0 front, the journey to 1.0, narrative worked closely with design to define mission providers and aspects of reputation. Work also started and the initial scripting and development of additional location stories for players to discover. Ho-ho! That's what I'm looking for right there. Location stories for players to discover. Oh my gosh. That's good stuff, man. That's literally what I was just saying. More lore in the game. And location stories are some of the best parts of the best RPGs I've played. Like, you'll literally get whole movies come from location stories in some aspects, in some fictions. Like, technically Han Solo's story it could be considered a location story, right? You just learn about it in some kind of story somewhere in the Star Wars universe. It's got a whole movie about it. That's the kind of, like, this is good. This is exploration. This is, you know, just discovering new lore. This is what makes locations actually unique and interesting, is all that kind of stuff. I'm glad to read that. It's initial work, but it's clearly more for Star Citizen 1.0 than anything, so this is still years away. But we'll see. All right. Moving on. Oh. Wait, a variety of lore content was published on the website, including a pair of Whitley's guides for the Vulcan and the Carrack. Ooh, there was a Whitley's guide for the Vulcan? Wait a second. I don't think they've talked about that ship in years. Whitley's guide. I don't know exactly what is in a Whitley's guide. Don't see it. I'll have to look for that. Maybe I'll receive a link or something. Let's keep going though. Online technology. In July, the online services team collaborated intensively with the gameplay and UI teams to introduce a significant quality of life enhancement to freight kiosks, a search bar. This new feature allows for quick item searches by name, improving the efficiency of locating items within large inventories. They also implemented optimizations to hanger and shard stow mechanics to prevent issues and facilitate recovery processes. Okay. The team working on potential mission and marker system features for Alpha 4.0 visited the Manchester studio, where they collaborated with the gameplay teams to ensure the seamless integration of these upcoming features. How about also to work on their presentation for CitizenCon, huh? What about that? Like, they've got to already have the key points of CitizenCon planned out, if not the whole show, right? So, I bet the unheard text here is that they're going over CitizenCon plans as well. No. Oh, they put out the Vulcan piece some time ago. You mind shooting me that link on Discord? Thank you, PK. In preparation for Alpha 4.0, online services began developing a new player trade service. Does that mean players are getting traded or players are doing the trading? This will enable players to transfer funds amongst themselves without being subject to the same game server's authority. Okay, paving the way for server meshing. Okay, so this is that a thing right now? If you send money to somebody else who is in a different server authority, does it not? Oh, that's interesting. I was really hoping this would include items and stuff. Can't wait till we can trade items. Good lord. Yeah, just bug fixing the wallet, getting ready for server meshing. Lastly, the team focused on bug fixes, stabilizing the Alpha 3.24 release, and finalizing the social services refactor. This extensive project, which online services have been working on for the past few months, is now ready to go live, making a significant milestone for the team. Marking. Wonder if this is in 3.24. The Live Tools team worked on new core features for the Hex tool. We actually talked about the Hex tool on the Turbulent website. This is what tracks reputation. The main goal of this is to provide better management of roles and permissions, streamline workflows between different tools, and enable the ability to perform bulk actions. Bork actions. UI. Last month, the UI designers and artists worked on the in-game visuals with functionality for the Resource Network UI and completed the final polishing tasks for jump points. For vehicles, the team replaced the old Flash MFDs and set up new HUDs, resulting in a cleaner and less cluttered flight experience. The UI team's tech programmers worked on performance improvements to speed up the frame rate on various parts of the UI. Okay, VFX stuff. Thanks, PK. VFX finally for July's report. The VFX team continued to support several effects-heavy features, including jump points and dynamic fire. They are very effect-heavy. They also continued to work on acidic caves and completed their tasks for the RSI Zeus and another unnamed vehicle. Tasks were also kicked off for 2 new weapons. VFX work getting finished up is pretty big. That means that this ship is getting very close. Definitely be ready for 4.0. Here's acidic caves, the other thing they were working on. And that's the report for you this week. It was okay. It wasn't super deep, but it was okay. I wonder how August is going to be. This is an interesting time. They're definitely holding some information back. There's things they're just not talking about, like Star Sim, and I feel like they've got to be working on 1 or 2 additional professions at this point. If 324 is coming in the game with its cargo hauling thing, and they're talking about resource gathering missions, they've got to be working on something like salvage, mining, or even refining related. They've got to be. Because they're just finishing up their cargo stuff, and there are other gameplay designers in the works. And yeah, we know Maelstrom's getting worked on, Star Sim's getting worked on, MFDs, quantum travel, base building, probably crafting. There are location stuff going on with the UGFs. I don't know what's going on with building interiors, but we know that there's probably working on the next system after Pyro, the Nyx system. just like they're definitely holding stuff back. So we'll see what they're bringing to us for CitizenCon. This was an okay report. It had some good stuff in it, but it's probably one of the lower point ones of this year. But this year's been a lot of good monthly reports. So that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you got to learn something here. Hope you had a good time. There's not really much going on right now. Excitement around Star Citizen is pretty low, and I'm not I am not blind to that. I do think that things will pick back up towards CitizenCon. Oh man, but there's a lot of complaints right now. So I think they've got a pretty hefty few weeks ahead of them, if not a couple of months leading up to CitizenCon. But if they can start to actually get some real testing with 4.0, like literally anything, they're not even using the preview channel. If they can just start to get testing of 4.0 going soon, I think a lot of people will be a little bit more picked up out of that slump. I think it'll be a big motivation or morale boost if it's a decent update. We'll have to see if it is. But the stage is set. It's already been kind of a rough year. Let's see if they can pick it back up and send it home. If not, CitizenCon better be good, and whatever happens after that better be even better, because I think people are done with the years. I think we're ready for server meshing and starting to look towards the next thing. Either way, hope you all enjoyed this. Again, I hope you got to learn something here today, maybe a little bit more context than you might get from just a straight read through. If you enjoy these deep dives, I try to do them every week during cycles like this, during the PTU. I'm a little late because I'm more focused on gameplay, but I'll get back to them, usually on Mondays. Anyways, y'all have a good one. I'm going to send you over to Detox. He's a good guy. He's just about to get started. Go over there, make his night, show him the toes gang, give him the toes raid, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.